Friends, we have already looked into one solution, the market approach of controlling the externalities like air pollution. So, that approach we discussed at length was the approach of Arthur Pico. He suggested government intervention in the form of Pigovian taxes if there is a negative externality. He suggested the intervention in the form of Picovian subsidies when there is a positive externality. So we can call this as an economist solution. The other solution which we discussed at length was the solution proposed by Ronald Coase, and we looked into what is known as the Coase theorem. So that this is also a market-based solution. However, in the Coase theorem solution, or the solution proposed by Ronald Coase, the government intervention is not important. It is the market solution, but here the government intervention is not there. The third solution, which we will be discussing in this lecture, is what is known as the command and control solution for controlling externalities. Now, this why are we discussing this in environmental economics course? When you understand what is a command and control approach, you might wonder why why it is called as a command and control approach, and why should it be in this course on environmental economics. Because in the command and control approach, we are not using any market principles for solving the problem of, say, air pollution, or the problem of even positive externality, right? So what is that solution? The solution is, the government says, the government intervenes, and it intervenes not in the form of taxes or subsidies. It simply says that you cannot do this, or you must do this. So if there is a negative externality, the government says that you cannot do this, and if there is a positive externality, the government says that you must do this, right? So government is commanding and controlling the externality. It is commanding and controlling the environmental goods or environmental bads. So that is what is known as command and control approach. There are many government interventions in the form of command and control approaches. One of the popular command and control approach, which all of us are aware, are the standards set by the government for the vehicle industry, right? So the standards are emission standards. In Europe, they are known as Euro norms. You have EPA norms in USA. You have Bharat norms in India, and so on. So what are those norms? So these norms are simply regulations, or the cap on the vehicle emissions for different categories of vehicles: cars, trucks, other transportation sources, right? And they simply say that, okay, if there is a particular vehicle in Euro 6 norm, and if it is run on petrol, that is gasoline, the carbon monoxide should not exceed so and so. The unburned hydrocarbon should not exceed so and so. The NOx emissions should not exceed so and so. The particulate matter should not exceed above a certain limit, right? So this kind of approach, where the government is prescribing, right, and it is saying that no way you are allowed to exceed these norms, that is a command and control approach. As I was saying, that there are many emission standards, and it is not simply followed by one or two countries. Even the countries which are popularly known as market economy countries, they use this vehicle emission standards. United States, as I was saying, that the United States Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, it sets the emission standards for its vehicles. There is a Clean Air Amendment Act of 1990, which is mandated means compulsory, command, okay, mandate, compulsory, command, stricter emission standards for cars and trucks. As I was saying, in Europe, there are Euro standards, uh, Euro 6 standards. For example, they put very strict limits on nitrogen oxide emissions from diesel vehicles. So all countries, market economic countries, they have vehicle emission standards, and they could be taken as an example of command and control approach. Uh, Similarly, another popular command and control approach to take care of environmental problems is known as zoning laws. You'll often find that a municipal corporation or a local government would prescribe some locations. We would say that this is a location where there should be no industries. This is a location where there should be only open spaces for gardens, right? And then the government would say that this is a lake or this is a river, and at the coastal regions you cannot build houses. So such kind of regulations are there. They are known as zoning regulations, to control the location of industrial facilities, to control the other sources of pollution, to minimize the impact on residential areas, to minimize the impact on sensitive ecosystems and vulnerable populations. So these are known as zoning laws and land use planning laws, and these are again the government intervention in the form of command and control method to take care of environmental problems. So here there is no economist coming into picture and saying that you tax this and tax that. Okay, it is simply that you cannot do this. That's it. So another examples, as I was saying, that there is a limit to the height and density in buildings, right? For residential, you cannot cross a particular height. For commercial, you cannot cross a particular density and height that way, right? So maximum building heights, or how many dwellings could be there per acre, all these regulations are helping preventing the construction of very tall buildings and very high density housing societies. Same thing goes in floodplain zoning, where in flood prone areas you cannot do lot of construction or development work, right? Um, Another command and control approach which is popular is in energy conservation, where you'll find that there are mandates by the government to manufacture the energy intensive instruments or consumer goods, uh, and specify their consumption with the help of some energy rating, right? For example, here I have shown 4-star energy rating equipment or 5-star energy rating equipment, and this energy rating equipment has to this energy consuming equipment has to have these star ratings and has to specify how much energy it is consuming per year. Okay, so these are known as technology mandates. So the mandates for the use of cleaner technologies and pollution control measures in specific industries is an example of command and control approach. Here you are not giving cheap electricity, or you are not providing costly electricity as a solution, right? Here you are not allowing the industry and consumers, or industries and other stakeholders to bargain. So it is neither using a Pigovian approach, nor it is using a Coisen approach. It is simply saying that this is the mandate. You have to manufacture a good to this energy standard. That's it. So this is a technology mandate. Uh, one more popular example of technology mandate is for the power plants, especially the coal power plants, which are now required in some countries to install a carbon capture technology. Okay, this is to take care of the emissions from the coal-based power plants. So it is expected now the power plants should install the carbon capture technologies, and that should lead to carbon sequestration and tackle global warming, right? So all these issues, one a few more examples I will give before I close this command and control approach. This United States, for example, EPA again has a mercury and air toxic standard, again under the Clean Air Act, which makes the coal power plants to install pollution control technologies. And which are those? Like flue gas desulfurization system, fabric filters, and these are to take care of the mercury and other hazardous air pollutants. So here you see that the government is not saying that let the power plant negotiate with the people around there, right? Which would normally be an approach taken by Ronald Coase. Or here the government is saying that, okay, not saying that if you are not using a particular grade of coal, we would tax the coal, right? Low grade coal. That is not the government is doing. It's simply saying that it is mandatory for the coal fired power plant to install the pollution control technologies without looking into its economics, right? So such kind of technology mandates are necessary in some environmental problems. European Union Eco Design Directive, where I was saying that there are certain energy efficient technologies and practices for household appliances, lighting, industrial equipment, where that design, that mandatory threshold of energy consumption is required. Okay. Uh, Ban on hazardous substances again is a case where you would find the government simply bans, there is a blanket ban on use of certain hazardous substances that pose significant risk to human health and environment. Okay, so these command and control approaches, though they are not related to Arthur Pigot's suggestion or Coastin's suggestion, are still widely adopted by not only the countries which are command economies but also the countries which are market economies. So even in United States or European Union, where the economy is operated on capitalist principles, economic principles, you'll find that command and control approaches are being used for environmental problems. Okay, thank you very much.